Hey there, welcome in. It's Heather with Heather's Healing, and I'm here to look at the energy for the upcoming week, which is November. Where are we? November 23rd through no, we're going to do November 24th through the 30th, 2025. So welcome in. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you had a nice weekend, a nice break. Let's go ahead and just get a feel for next week. This is a collective read for everyone that's watching. I have one ring that's a little big, and it's hard to shuffle the cards with that ring moving around. Anyway, how are you guys? All right, so let's pull just one card looking at the overall energy of next week. I do believe Saturn goes direct either on Thursday or Friday of this week, which I'm kind of looking forward to. That will bring some structure and discipline back into our lives, and I think that will be nice. Eight of Wands. Yeah, this kind of makes sense. So a lot going on. Fast-moving energy. It might feel hard to keep up or feel a little overwhelming, but I also think that the holiday plays a big part of this energy. Slightly frantic energy, especially if you're traveling. So busy, not bad, just busy, lots going on. That's okay. Kind of makes sense with the holiday. All right, so let's pull 3 more cards. What else do we need to know about this week? What else do we need to know other than it's going to be busy? Lots going on. And I hope that you have some fun plans for the holiday, even if it's just to relax. I know not everybody enjoys the holidays, and it can be a really hard time for a lot of people. But do your best to relax, to find something that brings you joy and happiness, and just allow yourself to slow down. All right, let's see what else. What else do we need to know? All right, so man, I'm having a hard time with these cards today. So we've got some anxiety going on. We've got some worry. We've got some stress. Ooh, I like this Ace of Wands. Some new opportunities coming in. Oh, yay, we got death too. Wow. Okay, fantastic. Anxiety, worry, concern, stress. This could be for so many different reasons, kind of depending on what's going on in your life. But often this Nine of Swords, this type of anxiety, it's the type of anxiety where we're overthinking things and we're blowing things up in our mind. And oftentimes things work out. It's not as bad as we think it's going to be. But some anxiety here. And again, with the holidays, that can bring up a lot of anxiety. And I, for one, I'm just not a big fan of the holidays. And I have a theory that a lot of holidays were man-made. They were created to bring us down. It's kind of an odd way of thinking about it, but that's how I feel. But make the most of it. Anxiety. This could also be just the stress of maybe being around family that you don't necessarily want to be around. Anxiety. But right here in the center, I do like this. We have the Ace of Wands, and I'm wondering if this will come in more around midweek or end of the week when Saturn turns direct. But this is having motivation. You're excited about something. This is you starting something new. For some of you, maybe you're starting a new job, or I don't know, there's something new you are excited to experiment with, to try out. I really like the energy of Ace of Wands. And it's taking action. So you're taking action, you're exploring, you are trying new things. I love the Ace of Wands. It's creativity, inspiration. if you have been feeling, if you've been trying to make up your mind about something, and you haven't had the clarity you need, I feel like you'll get that this week, and you'll also be really inspired to take action on whatever that is. So I do like that Ace of Wands. That's really nice. Wands are fire energy, so it's always action, energy, physically doing something new in this case. And we also have the death card coming in. I do love this death card in this deck. I think it's really cute. My daughter bought me this deck a couple years ago for Christmas. Anyway, just really love this. So transitioning, changing. We're coming to the end of this month. Death is all about endings. It's a transition. We're transitioning out of fall. We're heading into winter. We're transitioning into a new month. And I do really feel, and I feel like this started more kind of maybe the end part of September, but it's a theme that will carry through the rest of the year, which is lots of endings. It doesn't have to be like physical death, but lots of endings, transitions, changes, big changes for everyone, from now until the end of, well, like I said, starting back in September through the end of the year, lots of transitioning. And that can kind of suck because not all change is great. And it can be really hard. I mean, I personally have a hard time with endings. I have a hard time with not so much change, but with endings. It's weird. If I'm reading a book that I really love, I often won't read the last chapter because I don't want it to end. There's been a lot of movies that I enjoyed that I never watched the ending because I didn't want it to end. So if you struggle with endings, you know, these transitions could be kind of tough. I do want to pull one more card. Just looking at, well, I'm kind of curious about the Ace of Wands, but a little more curious about the Death card. So what else do we need to know about this energy? I guess I'll just ask that. What else do we need to know about this upcoming week? What else do we need to know? Yeah, I just keep hearing be mindful of your energy. And if you love the holidays, yay. I love that because your happiness and your joy will help lift up anyone else who's really struggling. So I do like that collectively. It adds to that collective good energy. All right, what else do we need to know? Ace of Cups. Wow, yeah, look at this. So really nice. And of course, anytime we have endings, we always have a new beginning. When old energy is leaving, new energy is coming in. We have the Ace of Cups. I do really like this. This feels like a peace offering. Again, aces are always new energy. It's something new beginning. This Ace of Cups feels like a peace offering. It feels, I'm also going to say this could be a happy surprise. And I think the best way to ride the energy this week is to do it from anything is possible. There's always a new possibility. There's always a new action that you can take. You can always pivot. You don't feel like you are a victim to your circumstance. And if you can stay out of a victim mindset, I think you'll ride the energy a lot easier, especially with transitions and changes, but also have an open heart the best that you can. Find gratitude. I love this Ace of Cups though. This is a really harmonious energy. This is something new coming in, a new energy, a new zest for life. It's an opening of of your heart space. It's opening of your energy. It's being more open to letting people in, letting new energies in. I do really like that. And it's better to be in this type of energy versus this type of energy where you're really worried and stressed out, often about things that will never freaking happen. All right, let's pull one final card. Oh, well, I guess I can shuffle and talk at the same time. I did want to mention stones that would be really helpful. Citrine, if you are feeling down, if you need a mood boost, work with citrine. I love citrine for that. If you're going to be gathering with friends and family, amazonite would be a great stone for smoother communication. That's a really great stone. Selenite would be fantastic for helping to clear the energy, and black kyanite would be great, especially if you're going to be around a lot of people. Black kyanite and or selenite, both great at clearing energy. All right, so one final message for the upcoming week. Advice, guidance. Yeah, and I keep hearing find your peace. It feels like carve some time out just for yourself this week, I think would be a wise thing to do for reflection. Anytime there's endings or anything like that, reflection that's a great time to reflect on things. A hidden gift. And I feel that with this Ace of Cups, it does kind of feel like a hidden gift. That's why I said happy surprises. Although sometimes I'm a little overly optimistic on my happy surprises. But the card says a hidden gift, sadness, an ending, a new beginning. Yeah, basically everything that we've already talked about. Yeah, endings, new beginnings, and the grief and sadness that comes with that. So allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling. It's not wrong. And we have 9. We've got a couple of 9s here. And 9s are always heading into transition and changes too. But in tarot, and I'm bringing this up because we have 2 9s here, and then we have a 9 here and a 9 here. 9s are awareness of life. It's life unfolding, it's plans unfolding, and it can be a really magical place to be. Like I said, anything's possible when you're in this kind of energy, and 9s are also kind of your peak power. And when you're in that kind of energy, it's really easy to manifest anything. And I feel like that's why reflection is really good in this type of energy, being really clear about what it is that you want, especially if you're in a situation that you're not liking. What is it that you want? Don't focus so much on what isn't working out for you, but how would you like things to unfold? How do you want to feel moving forward? You know, take some time to reflect on that this week. And again, I just really do feel like anything is possible this week. So, yep, I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm just wishing you guys the best of everything, and take great care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. If you are in the northern Utah area, this Sunday, I have a booth at the Copper Nickel in Ogden from 10 a.m. Nope, kidding, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. So if you'd like to stop by, pick up some crystals, get some gifts, that's the Copper Nickel this Sunday in Ogden. I'll put the address in the description box. So November 30th. All right, you guys, talk to you soon. Okay, last thing for sure this time. I just flipped over this deck and 9 of Hearts. What is the other card? So fulfillment, harmony, and protection. Anyway, lots of 9 energy. And again, that's also Saturn too. I didn't really think about that. All right, you guys, have a fantastic week, and I will talk to you soon.